okay, this is what we are going to do. We are going to measure the distance between the evil land he was coming from and the good land, the pious land he was going to. Wherever he is closer to, that is where he is going to go. So the Bible said he's going to, the angel who said, he has repented was the angel of mercy. And the angel who said, no, he deserves to go to heaven was the angel of punishment. And then they measured the distance. In fact, some of the narrations indicate that Allah instructed the distance between that man and the land he was going to shrink up. And the angel of mercy took him. Because in his heart, that man was a believer. Environment shaped him. At the end of the day, he had to repent. So the hadith is not talking about Allah forcing us. It's only talking about the reality of our actions will come out at the end of the day. Knowing something does not mean compelling such. To make it clearer, imagine that I watch a movie. Or those Yoruba films that are badly directed, badly executed. When they never shoot themselves directly, they only shoot the floor. So that's assume that I watch all those films. I don't Yoruba films at times, I believe at times they are worse than Western films. Western films, you see obscenity. There is no Yoruba film, it's rare that you don't see shirk. The shirk is worse than obscenity. There will be one Baba they will go to. At times, maybe even one Abba. They will tell them to do more sacrifice also. So that's assume that we watch one that did not have such obscenities. So I watched this film from the beginning to the end. Are we following? If I'm watching that film again, I know everything that would happen in that film all the time. Are we following? That is the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows everything that will happen. What is just happening now is that we are playing the script according to the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as you watch the movie, and you're like, okay, that man will die here. You are not the one that forced the man to die, Abby. But you realize that, okay, because I've known what will happen, this man will die. Now compare with somebody who has not watched the film before. He will be in suspense. Is that man going to die? And you just say, he will die. So it's exactly like that. Allah is aware of what would happen. And then what would happen, just as you have seen the film before, you can't come to a place that you know that the man will die, then the man will not die again. You have seen the movie. If the man does not die, something is wrong with your... So, this is the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for those who deny the fact that we have free will, of course there is free will. It is what we do that will make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us into Jannah or hellfire at the end of the day. That's why Allah said, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا يَشَاءُ. He said, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ, you will not will. That means we have our own free will. But it has to be in accordance with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has determined. So this is free will. Let's now come also to the issue of people being tested and calamities. Oftentimes, when evil happens, it's because of what we have done. Allah says, ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. Corruption has appeared on the earth and the heavens. بِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِي النَّاسِ. From our own action. But the funny thing is this. When those people who are guilty are being punished, at times the innocent also will share the consequences. So when the governor of one of these northern states said that meningitis is because of our sin, in a way, he was correct. Calamities occur because of the sins of people. However, people who are innocent also would of course bear in that calamity. And there's a direct hadith for this. The Messenger of Allah said towards the end of time, an army will be raised up to wage war on the Kaaba. And when they get to Al-Bayda, the earth will swallow the entire army, earthquake. The first of them and the last of them. And because of the nature of Islam, people used to question the message of Allah. Aisha said, why would the earth swallow everybody? وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَيْسَ مِنْهُمْ. And there are people who were coerced, who were forced to go there. Why would the earth swallow everybody? The message of Allah said, yes, the earth will swallow everybody. But on the day of resurrection, يُبْعَثُونَ عَلَى نَوَايَاهُمْ. They will be raised according to their intentions. So when punishment occurs here, both the guilty and the innocent will take the consequences. As we are getting the consequences here in Nigeria. When we don't obey traffic laws, or we say that okay, we take traffic laws will take with levity, and then some people will die because some individuals are not obeying traffic law. The individual that died because of that was actually innocent. He may even be obeying the traffic law. I've seen a brother who, the traffic light that said he could pass, it was on green, and he was passing, and there was somebody else who was speeding and killed that brother there. So innocent also would suffer when this is happened. But the day of the resurrection, Allah will grace people on their intention. When we now ask, this evil that occurs in this world, can we attribute it to Allah? Yes, Allah creates this evil, but we cannot attribute evil to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What am I saying? The Messenger of Allah said, وَالْخَيْرُ بِيَدَيْكَ وَالْخَيْرُ بِيَدَيْكَ. All good is in your hand, O Allah. So وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ إِلَيْكَ. But we will not attribute evil to you. Everything Allah creates or does is what? Is good. In fact, you cannot point to anything. I mean, it's a test here. You cannot point to anything that Allah has created that is 100% evil. Even shaitan. Even shaitan is not 100% evil. When Allah said, Iblis, leave this place, he said, Rabbi, my Lord. He made dua, said, Rabbi, oh my Lord, فَأَنْذِرْنِي إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. Just keep me with them till you raise them. And I said, إِنَّكَ مِنَ الْمُنْظَرِينَ. Allah accepted the dua of Iblis. When he tells you to do evil, Iblis will say, on the other hand, I'm not the one, no. I already told him, and he did it. So even if this is not 100% evil, so the evil that occurs, somebody dies, somebody is sick, earthquakes happen, these evil are relative. I mean, one of the reasons why people become atheists in the Western world is because of what we call in philosophy the problem of evil. So that, how can God allow evil? For Muslims, it's not a problem, because you are told about Qadar right from the beginning. You are told that Allah said, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ. We will test you of something of fear and of hunger. وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ. You will lose life, you will lose products, you will lose wealth. Give glad tidings to those who are patient. And who are those? الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَبَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّ لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. So we have patience right there as part of our creed as Muslims. That whatever happens, if we feel they are evil, it is only relatively evil. Whatever Allah creates, He creates with wisdom. Whatever Allah creates, He creates with His knowledge that has gone before that. And Allah does not create anything that is 100% evil. To make it clearer, when we read Surah Al-Kahf, the story of Musa and Qadar. Musa and Qadar went on a journey. And Musa said, Qadar, I want to learn from you. And Qadar said something that is very important. Qadar said, وَكَيْفَ تَصْبِرُ عَلَى مَا لَمْ تُحِطْ بِهِ عِلْمًا. How will you be patient for something that you don't have knowledge of? People who, when calamities happen to them, who say, Allah, what did I do to you? This applies to them. People, when trials come, who say that, oh, I'm not even worshiping Allah again, this applies to them. How would they be patient for what they do not have knowledge of? This is what Qadar told Musa. How would he be patient? And then what transpired later showed the depth of Islam. They saw a young boy. All the calamities you can talk of happened in that journey. Qadar killed the boy. And Musa said, what should you kill? Qadar and Nasir? You do nothing. Why should you kill somebody who don't do anything? And Qadar said, I told you. Musa will forgive him. They entered the vessel. That boy put it under the heading, loss of life. Are we following? Loss of life. And then they entered the vessel. That vessel was the implement or instrument that poor people, some poor people were working by the seaside or by the riverside, that was their only source of income. And they entered into it and Qadar punctured that vessel. Very big hole. And Musa said, this man. I said, that is number 2. And then they went to a place, they asked people to give them, they were visitors, they were requesting for hospitality. did not give them any hospitality. And as they were going out of that city, they saw a fence that has collapsed. The wall of that city that has collapsed. The king said, look, you have to walk here. And Musa was like, walk. Here the people here refused to give us even water. And both of them walked. They raised up the fence again. And Musa said, let's collect money from these people now. We serve them. And Pharaoh said, now let me explain what you are not preaching about. Everything that happened in this story are examples of the calamities that happen to us in this world. Loss of life, loss of property and livelihood, and loss of efforts. It doesn't go beyond these three things. And Pharaoh started explaining, said, you see that boy that I killed? If he had lived, he would be impious. I don't know if impious is correct. He will not be pious, to be on the safer side. And not only that, his impiety would also affect his two parents who are pious. So that it will not be the source of sorrow, temporal and eternal for his parents. We killed him because Allah wants to give the two parents somebody better. Women go into problems when they can't give birth. Or somebody who has miscarriages. Allah might have decided that you not having a child is the best for you. So you will labor in sorrow, you will weep, you will cry, you will do all those things. What we advise, do not go beyond what Allah said, you should not go beyond. Because you not having a child may be the best thing for you at that time. It is the situation that at times you see a couple, 9 years, 10 years, I've witnessed this, they are not giving birth. And they go to hospital, doctors say there's nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with the man, nothing wrong with the husband. They will not give birth. And then they will give birth. What did you do? Nothing. Because Allah decided that in that 9 years, giving birth is not the best for them. And no doctor will rectify that. So we lose life. Because Allah feels that that is the best for us. In this world, all this happens to everybody. Let nobody tell you that it's only when you have Jesus you don't have any calamity. In fact, you are fooling themselves. That you have Jesus, you don't have any. Pastors die now. Even the Pope died. So, life will be lost. Couldn't explain. That boy, it was necessary for him to die. And so you see, أَمَّا السَّفِينَةُ فَكَانَتْ مَسَاكِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ فِي الْبَحْرِ. That ship, we know that it's for those who are poor. وَمِنْ وَرَائِهِمْ مَلِكٌ يَأْخُذُ كُلَّ سَفِينَةٍ غَصْبًا. If that vessel was not punctured the way I destroyed it, there is a king that was seizing all the vessels. So it was a lesser evil that I punctured that vessel. They will rally around, repair it, but they will still have their vessel. If I had not punctured it, the king would have seized it. So those people who are poor people, when they see the punctured vessel, they decide that, why has Allah allowed this to happen? They did not know that it was for their benefit in this world. 10 minutes. And the last one, where they raised the fence, under that fence there was treasure for orphans. And this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always protect his own. Those orphans, when you say someone is an orphan in Islam, the person is not yet biologically matured. You are talking about somebody below 13. Immediately you are biologically matured, you are no longer an orphan. And an orphan is somebody who does not have a father, even if the person has a mother. That's an orphan as far as Islam is concerned. These boys, they are orphans, and if you are not yet biologically matured, you have no good deed. Are we following? These boys have not done any good deed in their life. And Allah commissioned 2 prophets to serve them. They sweated in the heat for no good deed. And one of these prophets was even Kalimullah Musa alayhi salam. One of these prophets that served those boys was someone that Allah spoke to directly without there being an intermediary. Musa alayhi salam. Why did Allah commission this prophet to serve them? Their father was a good man. وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. The good deeds of their father made Allah employ 2 prophets to serve boys that would not even know them. So whatever happens to us is destined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't believe that though it is the devil. No. If Allah says this should happen, the devil says no, it will happen. It means the devil is stronger than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything happens by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything Allah does is good. People tend to believe that success in this world is everything. No, it is not. And I will end the discussion with this. Probably in the question and answer, some of the issues we are going to mention, we'll talk about them. Like saying that, okay, why is it that some people will go to hell? Maybe I should talk about that. The most that we can use in this world now is 100 years. Let's say there's somebody who lived for 100 years and the person did evil and goes to hell for eternity. Eternity is millions and millions of years. Walk up 100 years and the person goes for hell for eternity. How do we explain that? It's very logical. Allah explained it. This man that lived for 100 years or even for 20 years, even if he has 1,000,000 years, he will not cease in doing the evil he has done. Allah says, لَوْ عَلِمَ اللَّهُ فِيهِمْ خَيْرًا لَأَسْمَعَهُمْ. If Allah had known that those who enter hell have any good in them, He would have made them hear. When people tell Allah, let us go back, لَأَنِي أَعْمَلَ صَالِحًا, perhaps I will do good. He said, no. If you go back, you go back to what you were doing that made you enter hell. So, finally, Al-Hafiz ibn Hajar al-Asqalani was once passing in the street of Egypt, and at that time he was the chief judge of Egypt, and he was passing in pomp and pageantry. He was in the carriers, horses were leading him, and there was a Jewish man by the roadside who was selling oil. And the Jewish man looked at him and said, come you. Went to him and said, please stop, I have a question for you. Your prophet said that this world is a prison for you Muslims, and a paradise for us non-Muslims. How come you are enjoying and I'm suffering? This was supposed to be a prison for you now. You are enjoying. And how it said, no, the prophet was correct. You misunderstood the message of Allah. Let me tell you what he's saying. He's saying that I, as a Muslim, when I die and I enter Al-Jannah, all the wealth and enjoyment I've acquired in this world, when I enter Al-Jannah, I will realize I've been in prison all my life. And you, the Kabir, if you enjoy in this world, or not the person was not even enjoying, all this you're suffering, that you're suffering now, the day you enter hell, you realize you've been in paradise. So we do not judge by what is happening to us. We judge by what Allah SWT has revealed. May Allah give us a firm understanding of the deen. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Now, we have some special guests amongst us, and I think we should recognize them. All of you pupils from Taqwa private schools, please rise up. Let the Jama'ah see you, brothers and sisters from Taqwa private schools. These are the future leaders of Islam. As we know, the school is run by our sister, Sister Liri Alimi, and her husband, with some of our members being members of the board. They have come as our guests today. You are most welcome. We are very happy to see you, and I hope you are inspired by what you have heard today. The person speaking to you is a graduate of chemistry, is not a graduate of Arabic or Islamic studies. May Allah grant you the knowledge of the deen, as well as grant you general knowledge with which people seek success in this world and in the hereafter. Amen. Please take your seats.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abul Suleiman. I'm a teacher. I want to appreciate the lecturer for a very incisive lecture. Now, Qadar is one of the very contentious issues, particularly among the youngsters. They've asked questions on Qadar, and like the lecturer has delved into a lot of them. The lecturer mentioned knowledge of Allah, which is very, very fundamental. There are three other things that are combined based on how I have been trying to address the issue. Now, in the Garden of Eden, or during the time of Adam and and Eve, we remember how Adam left the garden and found his way back, and the condition Allah gave to to him, that he will find his way back to paradise. It is man that will find his way back to paradise. And that is where I feel the freedom of choice now came in, because Allah allowed man to personally find his way through personal efforts, find one's way back to paradise. Then the other dimension to it is prayers. When you want a situation to change, it can be done by prayers. Now, the explanation I've always given is that I give an analogy. I said, if, for example, to tell you that Allah's knowledge is universal, like the lecturer said, and that Allah does not necessarily influence what happens. If, for example, a careful driver is coming from Badagry, and a careless driver is coming from Aja, and both of them are going to Ibadan, and given the time they are going to leave, they will necessarily meet at the toll gate. An accident will occur. That is by natural movement. And you want intervention of Allah, what do? Now, if you pray and Allah accepts your prayer, what will happen? The person coming from Aja, if you pray that, oh Allah, I want to go to Ibadan, and I want to go safely and come back safely, and Allah wants to accept the prayers, what will happen is that you'll be delayed for one reason or the other. The Badagry person will have taken off, so you will not meet at the toll gate again. So that will that is a way